welcoming you back to another episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. This is part 9 of this Let's Play series. Normally at the start of the episode, I like to go over what happened the last episode, but tomorrow I'm probably going to upload, in essence, episode 8.5 of Phoenix Wright, because YouTube's being weird. YouTube's being YouTube, so. But I hope by now, I hope by then you'll be all caught up. So let's move swiftly forward. What did happen, though? I mean, it doesn't hurt to talk about it as we make our way there. Right now, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get back to, what was it, Cody Hackins. I don't know if we even met Cody Hackins yet until episode 8.5. But he wanted an ultra-rare premium Steel Samurai card. And we were able to trade a regular ultra-rare card with Penny Nichols. Because now she has the whole set. So we need some info. So let's give it a shot. We have to go to the employee area, right? Like you can tell me through a premiere. But you're welcome to try. Well, I mean, you still can, but I'll know how to do it by then, and I'll be in the chat or whatever. Dressing room. Let's do this. So now we gotta give him a present. I'm an attorney. He doesn't care about that. Ultra rare premium Steel Samurai collectible card. Very valuable. An ERP card. Present. See this card? Yeah, so... Wait. That's it! That's the last ultra rare premium card I need. Come on, give it to me, please. You gotta give it to me. Wow, I've never seen him so eager. Right, okay. How about a trade? You're on. I'll give you a samurai spear and throw in an evil magistrate to boot. No. Not that kind of trade. I don't want cards. I want information. Huh? You sure? Fine by me. Card given to Cody. Okay, Phoenix. Let's hear what he has to say. If you know something that could help us, we can have him take the stand tomorrow. So let's talk. Let's talk at him. So you like the Steel Samurai? Ah, so you like Castlevania, do you? He's so cool. I guess. You're judging him by his looks. You have to look at his actions, at his life. Being lectured on life by a grade schoolie. You like him too, don't you? Oh, me? Yeah, I, love the Steel Samurai. So tell me what your favorite thing about the Steel Samurai is. His fighting skills. Gotta think of something. I like it when he, vanquishes his foes. Yeah, wazam! The Steel Samurai always wins. Always. Check this out. It's my fan album. Samurai Scrapbook. What the? It's all the pictures of the Steel Samurai. I go to every live performance. They have live performances? Those stupid publicity stunts where they beat each other up in public? What's wrong with that? That's my jam. That's my jam, and I bring the peanut butter. I always take a picture when the Steel Samurai lands the final blow. Wazam! I got them all. I never missed one. A perfect collection. Check it out. My new digital camera. Wow, that's very impressive. The newest model, isn't it? You bet, lady. I just got it for my birthday. My album has a name. Want to hear it? The Steel Samurai. Path to Glory. Oh yeah. Steel Samurai always wins. Always. Hey, if you want this, you can have it, lady. Really? Are you sure? Yeah, I took these with the digital camera. I got all the data at home, so I can always make another one. Well then, I'm happy to accept. Thank you. Contains photos of every victory scene in every battle the Steel Samurai has won. Why do I care about that? We'll find out, I guess. What's with people always giving stuff to Maya? What a life. She's like, what do you mean? You mean everybody doesn't always just get gifts constantly? You were here on the day of the incident, right? Yeah. Did you see anything unusual? Cody. We gave you that ERP card, remember? Cody, he needs to know because he's fighting for justice. Isn't that the Steel Samurai's motto? For great justice? You have to help us fight for great justice, too. I'm blanking so hard on what, like, for great justice is actually, like, the meme of it. I should know. Fight for great justice. I can't think of it. I saw everything. Well, well, we might get some useful information out of him yet. Cody, I need to ask you something very important. Why do you put blush on your cheeks? What do you see on the day of the incident? I just wouldn't expect that from a Steel Samurai child. I got here that day around 2. I had to come in through the woods out back so the old lady wouldn't see me. I got kinda lost, though. I was in there for maybe a half hour or so. Then I finally got to the studio. After that... What is it, Cody? The Steel Samurai killed the bad guy. He used a samurai spear. Just like always. One shot, one kill. Happened so fast, I got scared. Went home after that. I see. Must have been hard for you. No, it was awesome! Man, you say those nice things, but it's obvious you aren't speaking from the heart. Don't judge me, child. Right. Maya? Yes? I think we can say for sure this means the Steel Samurai did it. True enough. And the director has an alibi, so it wasn't him. Indeed. So, the only person left who it could have been is Will Powers. I have to admit, it's kind of a shock. But if you put this boy on the witness stand, your client will be guilty for sure. Let's not call him, then. I think that would be wise. Best to leave this one alone. Not so fast, pal. Gumshoe. I heard everything. This boy here is a key witness. He's under police protection starting now. Come on, son. You've got a rendezvous with me down at the precinct. No, I ain't going. Wah! Gumshoe ain't squeezing through that grate. That didn't go so well. We're back to 0 leads. Now we have a serious handicap in court. What are we gonna do, Maya? Well, I really need to be going. Don't worry, Phoenix. I'm sure you'll be fine. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Come to the trial tomorrow, please. I need you there. Phoenix, can I ask you something? Do you really believe that Mr. Powers is innocent? I believe. Of course he is. That's all I wanted to hear. Excellent. I'll see you in court then. Great. Thanks, Maya. See you soon. To be continued. Oh, I could have just played the game for another 7 minutes. Well, I didn't, so hey. I would love to save my progress up until this point. Day 2 of the trials. Is this gonna run into a third day? I'm thinking not. But... No, well, what kind of proof do we have? This has got to run into a third day. I would have thought like the last one would be 3 days. I don't feel like we have enough evidence to put this to bed, but we'll see. Mr. Wright. Yes? Why do you look so unhappy? Oh, nothing. Really, it's nothing. Right, Maya? Uh-oh, she looks even unhappier. Phoenix. Your client's now practically a dead man walking. Perhaps that's why I feel particularly close to him. There's no time for dead people jokes, please. Now we're going into this trial utterly defenseless. Yet if Mr. Powers is truly innocent, we should be able to find something overlooked in the evidence to prove it. Something overlooked. We have to find something, Phoenix. Today. It's that or lose the trial. This isn't going to be easy. You know, it might be. Courtroom number 4. Here we go. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. An unexpected fact has come to the attention of the court. Yesterday we learned that there were other people present at the studios. Today I would like to show evidence proving that they had nothing to do with the murder. Very well. You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. Wonder if it'll be that producer. The prosecution calls Mr. Salmonella to the stand. Salmonella, not salmonella. It's not salmonella. Salmonella is his name. Will the witness state his name and profession? How rude can you get? You don't know me. I'm the director. I make the Steel Samurai, noob. Raffle. Salmonella. I'm a director. Television. You're at Global Studios on the day of the murder? Yes, Your Honor. Very well. Please testify to the court about the events of that day. Phoenix. Let's start by picking this testimony apart. If Powers is innocent, you know what that means. Someone in the trial on that day did it. Right. She doesn't waste any time putting on the pressure. The day of the murder. I was at the studios from around 9 that morning. During the morning, I was doing, an action scene run-through. It took a lot more time than I thought it would. I hear everyone else ate at the employee lunch area, but I had a meeting in the Studio 2 trailer, so I ended up skipping lunch. We were in the meeting until around 4. During the meeting, well, I'm pretty sure no one left their chairs. Pretty sure. That's about it. See ya. The time of Mr. Hammer's death was 2:30, and according to your testimony, you were in a meeting at that time. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Press. Is that when you always come into work? Oh, no. I come in all sorts of hours. It's the industry way. Yeah, I know all about the freaks in your industry. Still, for what it's worth, I was pretty busy all that day, frowny face. Tell us more about that. During the morning, I was doing an action scene run-through. You don't sound too sure about that. In the employee area. That's right. There's a fight scene between the Steel Samurai and the Evil Magistrate. Is anyone else at the run-through? Yeah, security lady was sitting there watching the whole thing. LOL! She was cheering on Hammer, if you can believe it. She certainly has the lungs for it. Anyone else? Nope, just us four. Took a lot more time than I thought it would. Why'd it go on so long? Pretty sure you've already heard about this. The WP twisted his ankle during the run-through, see? Oh right, that's the limp. Which of course led me to missing my lunch. Roffs? What's Roffs? Rolling on floor... What? I don't know that one. Rolling on floor... screaming? Roffs? Rolling on the floor starving? Okay, so it's not just me. Hear that everyone else ate lunch in the employee area. What exactly did they have for lunch? T-bone steak. The assistant cooked some up. Come to think of it, there was a plate with some bones on it in the employee area. Everyone else meaning that the witness did not eat with them. But I had a meeting in the Studio 2 trailer, so I ended up skipping lunch. So in the end, you didn't get to eat. Yeah, no steak at least. Can you believe it? It must have been tough. Phoenix. Yeah? Doesn't something about that seem odd to you? Sure. Yeah, it does seem odd now that you mention it. Mr. Manila. What did you want, Sweats? When I went to Studio 2, I saw something on the table there. There were 2 plates. Same kind of plates as the ones in the employee area. Who ate lunch there? No, or, good call, Sweats. I, was embarrassed, so I didn't mention it. But I did eat after all. A T-bone steak, you mean? Yeah, well, I mean, the assistant went through all that trouble. I brought it to the trailer thinking I could eat it later. Clearly a man who likes to eat. I suspected as much. So when exactly did you eat it? You took 1 break during that meeting. Oh, you took a break, so that's when the murder happened. I, wolfed it down then, drool. Mental image I'll carry with me to my grave. Wait a second. They took a break in that meeting. That contradicts his testimony. I'll press on that one a bit more. What were you discussing? Steel Samurai story in our budget. Get this. The sponsors turn to me and say, Mr. Manella, these scripts of yours are not appropriate for children. Can you believe it? Actually, I kinda can. So nobody left at the table? Nobody left the table during the whole meeting? During the meeting, well, I'm pretty sure no one left their chairs. You didn't take a single break. Well. Yeah, not a one. Sweats. What's he sweating so much about, I wonder? If only I had an idea. Wait a second. Maybe I do have an idea. Press harder. Leave him be. Wait a second. Mr. Manella, you've just contradicted yourself. Did you just tell the court that you ate a T-bone steak during a break? Oops, Raffle. Well. Mr. Manella, what's this all about? Well, yeah. I guess we did take a little break. Phoenix, great job. They took a break. One of them could have gone to the studio during that time. Your Honor. I call on the witness to testify to the court about this break. Very well. Mr. Manella, your testimony, please. Eh. Uh-oh, Edgeworth is laughing. The break. Yeah, for what it's worth, we took a break. Raffle! There's only 15 minutes. 15! That's only 13 in base 12. Not enough time for someone to say, commit murder in Studio 1. LOL! That's only just enough time to eat a T-bone steak, if you ask me. Steams. I don't think it would even be enough time for that, but that's just me. Very well. You may begin the cross-examination. The Breck. Raffle. What time exactly did you take this break? 2. Say it's from around 2:30 or so until 2:45. 2:30? That's the time of death. So he could have gone to Studio 1, killed Hammer, and come back. Guess it's possible time-wise. It's only 15 minutes. What were you doing for those 15 minutes? Eating my steak. What else? There were 2 plates on that table. Oh, right. The other one was Diva's. Sorry. Yeah, I was thinking about that Diva's quests. Like Diva's Kez. I still don't get it. Diva's Quez? Am I just saying the name wrong? Diva's Kiss? I don't know. Vasquez. The producer. To eat a T-bone steak in 15 minutes, that's quite a feat. Depends how big it is. LOL. Why is that? Have we had enough of this pointless line of questioning? Your Honor, testimony to this point has made one certain fact painfully clear. People in the trailer had nothing to do with this murder. It was impossible for any of them to go to Studio 1. What? Something wrong, Mr. Wright? Surely you aren't suggesting that one of the people in the trailer went to Studio 1. Well, Mr. Wright. Phoenix, this is critical. Think about it before you give your answer. You claim someone from the trailer went to Studio 1? I want to... Like, I don't think you always say claim it, but, like... Let's roll with it. If I agree to let everyone in that trailer off the hook, then the trial is over. Mr. Powers will be found guilty for sure. Victim was murdered at 2:30, the exact time of the break in the meeting. With 15 minutes, murder is certainly a possibility. Suppose you might say that. Alright, I got the judge thinking now. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Never a dull moment with you, Mr. Wright. What's your point, Edgeworth? You've been doing your homework, haven't you? Look at the court record. Court record? Surely you knew that from 2:15 to 4 o'clock, the path between the studios was blocked? Mrs. Monkey's head had fallen across the path. Whoa, you're right. True, the break in the trailer meeting came right at the time of death. However, the path from there to the scene of the crime was blocked. The fallen Mrs. Monkey had barred the way. actually Mr. Monkey, but Edgeworth has a point. Somehow I feel no desire to correct him. No counter-argument, Mr. Wright. I'm afraid you lose this round. I believe we have seen enough evidence. I'd like to relieve Mr. Manella from the stand. What? It's over? Very well, the court's opinion on this case is as follows. We have found that there were several other people in Studio 2 on the day of the murder. However, it's also clear that none of these people could have gone to Studio 1. They therefore have no relation to this case. Furthermore, with regards to the photo of the Steel Samurai, given the size of the costume, no one other than Mr. Powers could have worn it that day. All that is lacking is the decisive evidence is that he is the one who did it. If we had that, I'm afraid I would have to find Mr. Powers guilty. Your Honor, the prosecution is pleased to announce that we indeed have a decisive evidence, a witness. Who's this witness, Mr. Edgeworth? My witness saw the very moment when the Steel Samurai skewered the victim. Order. I will have order. I see. Court will take a 10-minute recess, after which we will hear your witness. Court is adjourned for recess. $11:04. What do we do now, Maya? Everyone in that trailer has an alibi. Sorry, Phoenix. I guess I was wrong. Maya, don't tell me you're giving up. If you give up, what hope do I have? Don't get me wrong. Never given up on a trial before, not while there was a chance. Only one thing became clear in your cross-examination. People in the trailer could not have gone to Studio 1. Thought there was more to it than that. But I was wrong. That's all there is. What's going to happen to me? Kinda seems like everyone in that courtroom thinks I did it. They think I'm a murderer. Don't worry, Mr. Powers. If you are innocent, we'll prove it. I guarantee it. Leave it to us and be yourself. Be strong. You are the Steel Samurai, hero to children everywhere, after all. Thanks. Okay, Phoenix. This one's for the kids. Let's do it. Do it for the kids. It's 11 minutes later. Extra long recess. Court is back in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Prosecution has a concern, as our witness is a grade schooler of tender years, and this is a murder case. We worry that the defense might cause unnecessary trauma with his cruel questioning. Nice to see Edgeworth taking the moral high ground. However, we have no choice. The prosecution calls Cody Hackins to the stand. Your Honor, perhaps you could arrange a box for him to stand on? Right. Guard, please bring him a box. One of those donut crates should do. Will the witness state his name and grade in school? Witness! What? Just because you're all grown up don't mean you can push me around. Ugh. Cody, answer his question, okay? Hey, it's you, the nice lady. I'm Cody Hackins. I'm in 2nd grade. I get the feeling this is going to be a long day. Mr. Edgeworth, please remember that you're speaking to a child. Try to be gentle. Ugh. Witness, I mean Cody. He's having trouble with this gentle thing. You were present, you were at Global Studios on the day of the, incident. You got a problem with that? Please tell us what you saw that day. What, Pops? You want me to tell you and Gramps with the beard over there? Just Mr. Edgeworth will be fine. I prefer bearded gentlemen myself. Yeah. Very long day. Incidentally, photographic equipment is strictly forbidden in this courtroom. My apologies, Your Honor. You said you wouldn't testify if you couldn't bring it. I'd like special permission if that's possible. Wait, so you're saying you had to bargain... you had to bargain terms with a kid and you lost? Hey, I just got this new camera. Don't really know how to use it all that good yet. But I bring it with me wherever I go. Phoenix, wonder if he had that camera on the day of the murder. Better make a note of it in the court record. Very well, Cody. Please testify to the court about what you saw that day of the incident. I think I got a jaw crack for you this time. There we go. I think you heard it that time. Wanted to see a Steel Samurai rehearsal just once. Found a map on the internet. Went to the studios that day. Went through the woods off the path so the old lady wouldn't catch me. Went through the woods off the path. What was stopping anyone else from doing that? I was going for the studio. I kind of got lost along the way, though, for about 30 minutes. When I came out by the studio, there was the Steel Samurai. Totally rocked, right before my eyes. Out came the bad guy. Of course, the Steel Samurai took him down. Pow! If I had my camera with me, that would have been a time for a shot, I tell you. Anyway, I couldn't get into the studio, so I went home. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination, but be gentle, remember you're talking to a child. Kid's tougher than most adults we see here, honestly. Tougher than salmonella. Salmonella, I keep doing that. I wanted to see... Hold it! Really like the Steel Samurai, huh? Of course I do. I've taped every show. I go to all the live performances. That's impressive. Have you been to the amusement park? Of course, duh. My dad always takes me. Poor dad. I found a map on the internet. Is that day the first day you've been to the studio? Actually, I've been a couple of times. Never managed to get there on a rehearsal day. That security lady's always yelling. Right, please continue. Chill, Pops, I'm getting to it. How am I supposed to talk with you cutting me off all the time? Jeez. Edgeworth is just getting roasted. Off the path. Yeah, you know how the studios are in a valley there? If you go off the path a little, there's woods. That's where I was. I see. Anyhow. Isn't that relevant? I was going for the studio. Did nothing unusual happen on your way to the studio? Unusual? Did you see this monkey by any chance? Oh, you mean Mr. Monkey? Yeah, I saw him, but his head wasn't busted. So you went straight to the studio? Got kinda lost on the way, though, for about 30 minutes. Got lost in the woods? Yeah, I couldn't figure out which way I was walking. Man, I was relieved when I saw the blue studio doors. But guess what happened next? When I came out by the studio, there was a Steel Samurai. Yeah, he was standing by the studio gate. Looked like he was thinking about something before going in. Then he opened up the gate and went inside. I see, what then? Totally rocked, right before my eyes. Out came the bad guy. What sort of bad guy was it? A guy, a person, kinda tall, skinny. You sure it was a guy? I don't know. He was kinda far away. Being awfully vague. What? Why was Mia giving him a glare? What happened to the bad guy? Huh? Well, he kinda didn't move. Not a bit, like he was dead. I guess he's a real pro. What a great actor. Yes, I suppose he was. I had my camera with me, that would have been the time for a shot, I tell you. If you had your camera? You mean you weren't carrying your camera then? No, I wasn't. It's not like I have it all the time. Really? I guess seeing the killing freaked him out and he went home. Phoenix, remember he's a child. Use gentle words, but be firm. Easy for you to say. Well, whatever it is about the woods, that seems like... that seems awfully relevant. Going for the studio, kinda lost. Did I skip one of these? Is that... like the contradiction, because it says in the court record that he always has it? Like, he has it right now. That's what I'm gonna try to do. I don't... It's either that or just the fact that there's a path in the woods that people can walk through. But I think that's one of those I'm not supposed to figure that out yet things that Phoenix Wright likes to do. Okay, good. Cody, what you just said seems, well, a little strange. Didn't you say before that you'll always bring your digital camera wherever you go? You're quite clear about that. Huh? That face. Cody, you shouldn't lie here. You understand that, right? Mr. Wright, a word with you. Uh-oh, was I putting the pressure on too much? What is this digital camera contraption you're talking about? It's, a digital camera, Your Honor. It's kind of a new sort of camera. How do I explain that? I see. Anyway, Cody, I can't believe you wouldn't bring your camera on a trip to the studios. You did bring it, didn't you? Mr. Wright, how cruel you are to terrorize a poor child so. I don't care if he's a child or a prosecuting attorney, no one should lie in court. What do you mean, or a prosecuting attorney? You know what I mean. What? Yeah, so I had my camera, so what? You got a problem with that? That's a donut. I guess that would be a donut box. So you did have a camera. I was picturing a milk crate, I don't know why. And you did use this camera? I'm kind of impressed that donut box can support them. Is it filled with donuts? Like, stale donuts? Why would I use it? I was too busy watching. Very well, please testify to the court about what you were so busy watching. Hey, we did it. Yeah, I had my camera with me, but I was glued to the action. I couldn't take my eyes off of it. Steel Samurai, he goes for the bad guy. Wham! Then the bad guy stopped moving. He's so strong, the Steel Samurai rules. Oh, is that all? Well, that was brief. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Yeah, I had my camera with me. So why didn't you use it? He's getting to that. Relax and listen. I didn't use it because I was too busy watching the real thing. But I was glued to the action, I couldn't take my eyes off of it. So you were watching the Steel Samurai, did you watch the whole fight? Yeah, of course. You didn't turn away, not even once? No. Okay, then tell us exactly what happened. Yeah, I'm getting to that. Steel Samurai goes for the bad guy. Wham! So the bad guy attacked him first? Yeah. What sort of person was this bad guy? I told you, a person. He was a person. How was he dressed? I kinda don't remember. I was too busy watching the Steel Samurai. I see, and then what happened? The bad guy stopped moving because he was stabbed. Why? Huh? What do you mean, why? Why wasn't the bad guy moving? Well, because the Steel Samurai brought him to justice. How exactly did he do that? How did he do it? With a samurai kick, and a samurai punch, samurai chop, samurai slap. Something like that. Still being vague about this. What? Don't give me that look, Pops. How should I play this? Press harding. Cody. What? Something's bothering me. Before you said that you couldn't take your eyes off the action. Yeah, so? Yet you missed the most important part. What's the meaning of this? The witness had stated what he saw quite clearly. You know as well as I do that he's being vague. Tell me what kind of murderer uses a samurai slap. Good point. My point is this. Cody, you may have seen some of the Steel Samurai's fight. But you missed the most important part. The killing blow. Order. Order. Mr. Wright. How could this be? Can you explain how he might have missed something so vital? Well, that's the thing. Phoenix, I believe you're on the right track with this. Think, why didn't Cody see the climax of the fight? When Old Bag chased him away? I know you can figure this out. Mr. Wright, your answer. We've ascertained that this young boy is a great fan of the Steel Samurai. Why wouldn't he be watching the climax of the fight? Show evidence? He couldn't watch it. Because he couldn't watch it. How could he calmly watch a murder taking place? That's not what I was getting at. Just a moment, please. One thing's become quite clear in this boy's testimony. Did not believe he was witnessing a murder. He was watching the Steel Samurai fight like on the TV. The more real the fight, the more he would have watched. You have another explanation? Oh, you're not actually gonna punish me for that? Show evidence? Your Honor, I have evidence. Evidence? Yes, Your Honor. Why did Cody look away from the fight? Did the monkey head drop? Probably this. Here's my proof. Can I do that again? This doesn't prove anything. Game's being really nice to me here. Well, I may as well just, like, willy-nilly this a little bit. Here's my proof. What's that, the camera? Witness stated he recently received this camera. I'm aware of that. He wasn't entirely familiar with its operation. I'm aware of that, too. Oh, correct. Why would Cody be looking somewhere else at the critical moment? Because he was looking at his camera. He was trying to take a picture. Hey. Bullseye. What's your problem, Pops? You got a thing for picking on little kids? Pressing, not picking. Good job, Phoenix. Cody was lying, clearly. Smart of you to realize there's no way he could just stand there watching his hero and not take a picture. Right. Cody, there's only one reason why you would have looked away from the fight. That was because you wanted to take a picture. But having just received your camera, I'm gonna belch through that, don't mind me. You weren't used to using it yet. So you missed the climax of the fight, correct? Yeah. Well, Phoenix, I bet you anything he's hiding more than that. Have him testify again. Right. Mia means business. Mia's business. Your Honor, the defense would like to request that Cody Hackins testify once more. Very well. Cody, could you please tell us about your camera? And about why you didn't take a picture of the fight? Welcome to the real world, kid. No photo? Yeah, you're right, Pops. Steel Samurai had just escaped from the clutches of the villain. So I held up my camera to take a picture, but the lens wouldn't open in time, so I missed it. That's all that happened. Yup. I don't believe that last part, the way you went yup. Anything strange in that testimony, Mr. Wright? I'm not sure, but I'd like to proceed with the cross-examination anyway. Got this kid on the ropes. Yeah, you're right, Pops. About what? Pops? Yeah, I called you Pops, you spiky-haired geezer. Geezer? I'm Mr. Edgeworth. And I guess I'm the bearded gentleman. That's what I hate about grown-ups, you're also self-conscious. Okay, off with the kid gloves. Testify, witness. Testify. Yipes, make like Devon Dudley and testify. Steel Samurai had just escaped the clutches of the villain. So you did see the beginning of the fight. Yeah. Did you notice anything unusual? Well, I guess the Steel Samurai was moving a little strange. Moving strangely? Set up my camera to take a picture. Why couldn't you take a picture? My new camera has too many buttons. I couldn't figure it out. Tried to take a picture, I really tried. The lens wouldn't open in time, so I missed it. When the lens opened, what did you see? Well, a person on the ground, and the Steel Samurai. That's all that happened. Yup. That's all? Yeah, I told you I didn't take a picture. I would have, once I got that lens open. Did you really not take a picture? Not even one? Nah, you definitely would have taken a picture. There's gotta be something here I can use. Cody, Listen up, Cody Hackins. I know exactly what happened that day. You took a picture. Hey, Bullseye. How'd you know? I see through all of your lies, Cody Hackins. You gotta say their first and last name. And be firm. It's one of my powers. Wow. This feels great. Yeah. Yeah, I took a picture. Perhaps you can change your testiphony to reflect your phony lies, Cody. Took a few shots, but it was too late, so I erased them. You erased them? Yeah. Why would you erase a picture of your beloved Steel Samurai victorious? Well, you know. Why'd I want to keep a picture like that? It's becoming less and less cooperative. Better find a clear contradiction soon, or some solid evidence. How can I pick holes in such a short testimony? There has to be something. Dig up the dirt, Phoenix. Find out what this kid's all about. Yeah, you're right, Pop. Steel Samurai just escaped from the clutches of the villain. I don't remember actually reading that part. So you did see the beginning of the fight. Yeah? Did you notice anything unusual? Well, I guess the Steel Samurai is moving a little strange. Oh yeah, that's right, moving strangely. Gotta listen to all this again. Why couldn't you take a picture? Oh. My new... Okay. Do I understand now? Took a few shots, but it was too late, so I erased them. I think it's the last one. And I think it's this book. Yeah! Cody! What? Man, every time you say Cody, you follow with something bad. I just wanted to thank you for giving me this the other day. Huh? Oh, right. What was it you told me then? I go to every live performance. I always take a picture when the Steel Samurai lands the final blow. Wazam! I got them all. I never missed one. A perfect collection. Cody, did you really get a picture of the Steel Samurai standing victorious over his foe? If you did, I find it hard to believe you would just erase it. Wouldn't you keep it for your album? Mr. Wright, what exactly is this album? It's called Path to Glory. It's a collection of pictures of the Steel Samurai all taken by Cody Hackins. He claims it's a perfect collection of every battle the Steel Samurai has won. I see. Don't you find this very odd, Your Honor? Among all the pictures of the Steel Samurai, none were taken that day. Yeah, you little twerp. Order. Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? Steel Samurai just defeated his adversary. I certainly would expect to see a picture of it in this album. Exactly my point, Your Honor. No, wait, no way. Phoenix, I think we finally discovered the truth. What a truth it is. Maya, are we sure about this? Did he actually? Yes. Pretty sure what you're thinking is right. Tell them, Phoenix. Tell them what the truth is. Mr. Wright, please explain to the court what's going on here. Why is there no picture in the album from the day of the murder? Why would the boy have erased the photos he took? The Steel Samurai didn't win. I can think of only one reason, Your Honor. The Steel Samurai didn't win. That's why Cody deleted those photos. You mean the Steel Samurai lost? Well, Cody, I'm right, aren't I? Tell the truth. The bad guy defeated the Steel Samurai. No way. No. It's impossible. Steel Samurai never loses. He never loses to anyone, ever. Your Honor, witnesses revealed everything with his words. There's a reason why he lied and told us he didn't take a picture. Same reason he erased his precious photos. For Cody, it was inconceivable that the Steel Samurai could be defeated. However, Cody witnessed the impossible. He saw the Steel Samurai lose. Yet he had to admit what he saw would destroy everything he believed in. That's why he lied and said the Steel Samurai won. He couldn't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth. Order. I will have order. Witness. I mean Cody. Is this true? What'd you see? Tell the court what you saw. I So you can start wailing. Wow, there you go. Here comes the waterworks. Oh, serious business. I love this music. Cody, that day, you saw the Steel Samurai lose a fight, right? Wow, okay. You're right. Steel Samurai fell down. Then he didn't move. Wow. I'm more confused now than I was before. What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, right? Steel Samurai was the murderer, not the victim. Yet according to the witness's testimony, Steel Samurai was the one who fell. Mr. Wright, what's going on? Apparently we have all made a serious error. An error? What's this all about? I mean, Steel Samurai was the victim. If you understand what really happened, it's actually quite simple. At the end of the fight, the Steel Samurai fell to the ground and lay still. In other words, the Steel Samurai was not the killer, he was the victim. Don't you see? Jack Hammer was the Steel Samurai. Order. So the Steel Samurai in this photograph, you're saying this man in the costume was the victim, Jack Hammer? That's what I'm saying, Your Honor. Mr. Jack Hammer was present at the action scene run-through that morning. Thus, he obviously knew about Will Powers' foot injury. But wait, had Mr. Hammer gone to Studio One already? That's what everyone thought. But remember what Miss Oldbag said in her testimony? No. On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1. Did I see poor old Hammer? Nope. He already gone to the studio before I got back to the guard station. Mr. Jack Hammer left the employee area after lunch. However, no one saw him going to Studio One. Nor was there a picture of him. He waited for Mr. Powers to take a nap in his dressing room. Then he snuck into the dressing room and stole the Steel Samurai costume. But why would the victim do such a thing? I don't know. I get it. I thought that the Steel Samurai was moving strange. So was a different person inside the suit. Pops. Me? What? Actually, there was one piece of data I saved. Data? Yeah, a photo on my camera. What? Show us, quick! No way, man, not if you're gonna look at me like that. Now! Here, this is it. What am I seeing? Well, looking at this, it's still a little hard to say. Afraid that it could be anyone in that costume. Your opinion, Mr. Wright? I agree, Your Honor, this isn't decisive evidence. I'm sorry, this doesn't look like it's the proof we need. I'll give it back. Wait, Phoenix. Mia, what? Look at the photo once more. That's it, Phoenix. That photo is all the evidence you need to win this trial. What? Your Honor, may I see that photo one more time, please? Oh, am I gonna have to point out whatever the contradiction is? Certainly, I don't see why not. Phoenix, show him. There's a glaring decisive inconsistency with the facts as we know them in that photo. Find the inconsistency in the photo. Is this not duct tape? Is that the inconsistency? That's the only thing it could be. I think it's here. You seem to be lacking more confidence. Oh, it's being nice to me. I have no idea. Oh, is it because it's at Studio 2? Yeah. Your Honor, look at this. I see. A gate. Might I draw your attention to the number on that gate? I'm surprised how many times in this trial it's like, yeah, redo. Like, I probably would have game overed by now if it was being, you know, hard-nosed about it. The number? Yes. Well, it's hard to see, but it looks like a 2. Clearly not a 1, Your Honor, correct? I believe Mr. Edgeworth sees what I'm getting at. But that's impossible. Huh? What's this all about? Please explain so I might be shocked along with the rest of the court. I'll use the studio guide map. Body was found here in Studio 1. However, what do we see in this photo taken at the time of the murder? It does not say 1 on that gate in the photo. Your Honor, here's the true scene of the crime. Really? Here, at Studio... I mean, I guess this is the first time they have the pointed out thing, so I guess they're going easy on you. Here, at Studio 2. See, that would explain the 2 on the gate. Your Honor, I find it very significant that the murder took place in Studio 2. Yeah, the path was blocked. The path to the trailer was blocked. So we have heard. The path was blocked at 2:15. In other words, the victim went to Studio 2 before that time. Yes. Yes, I suppose that would be the case. Remember Mr. Salmonella's testimony? Allow me to remind the court. He said no one in the trailer was guilty because they could not have gone to Studio 1. Yet in actuality, the reverse was true. Only someone in the trailer could have committed this murder. They were the only ones with access to the scene of the crime, Studio 2. As you may recall, there's a trailer in Studio 2. Now on that day, a meeting was held in that very trailer. There was a break in the meeting corresponding to the time of death. During that break, Mr. Salmonella and Miss D. Vasquez... Miss Diva... Kez... Diva's cuz? I don't know. We're outside. That's really bothering me. They're at the scene of the crime. Order, order. Defense made the following claims. Scene of the crime was Studio 2. The person that was the security guard, Oldbag... The person that the security guard, Oldbag, saw was the victim, Jack Hammer. Mr. Hammer, for some reason, stole the Steel Samurai costume. Then he went to Studio 2. This is madness. Jack Hammer's the victim. The victim. Why would he steal a Steel Samurai costume? Are you suggesting he did it to cover up the details of his own murder? Well, no, of course not. Or do you have proof? Give me proof that the victim, Jack Hammer, stole the costume. Do I have proof? Sleeping pills? I have proof. You do? You do, Mr. Wright? Now that they're so surprised, suddenly I'm much less confident. I think I'm right, though. Here's my proof Jack Hammer stole the costume. I'm gonna go with sleeping pills. This is it. An empty medicine bottle? I found this on the table in the employee area. Same table where Mr. Hammer and Mr. Powers ate. The label reads sleeping pills. Sleeping pills. The defendant, Mr. Powers, spent that entire afternoon sleeping. He was drugged by Mr. Hammer. Wait a moment. That bottle does raise some suspicions, yes. But there's no proof that Mr. Hammer used it. Your Honor, I have an idea. Test Powers' blood. I mean, fingerprints on the bottle would probably make more sense. An idea? Very well, let's hear it. I want to check this bottle for fingerprints that aren't my fingerprints. My claim is true, Mr. Hammer's fingerprint should be on this bottle. Ugh. Suppose you're right. Very well. The court will take possession of the bottle. Empty bottle given to the judge. Court will suspend proceeding on the current trial for today. Cody Hacken's testimony has revealed new possibilities in this case. In fact, things may have happened very differently than we previously thought. Steel Samurai seen by Miss Oldbag may have been the victim Jack Hammer. Scene of the crime was not Studio 1, but Studio 2. Those in the trailer did have time to commit murder. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. Your homework is to find the answer to the following question. Why would Mr. Hammer steal the samurai costume? Also, who killed him and why? Find the answers for me by tomorrow, next time. That's a lot of homework. Mr. Edgeworth. You'll need to reconsider your stance in this case. Above all, you'll need to reconsider your suspicion of Mr. Will Powers. As you say, Your Honor. This trial will be extended until tomorrow. This is the last extension. 3 days. 3-day trials. Very well. Court is adjourned. We did it. We extended the trial by 1 more day. Whew. That was a close one. We were saved by a hair, but that's all that counts. We were saved by an empty bottle. I thought seriously about going home about 3 times during the trial. Me too. Really? You both seemed so confident. Ha! Maybe I should take up a career in acting. I was ready to pronounce you dead about 3 times back there. Me too. Dead? Ho ho, of course, we're kidding. Are you sure? I wasn't kidding. Now, Mr. Powers, we have to go make our final investigation, but I promise you we'll find the true killer by tomorrow's trial. Right, thanks, Sniff. Hey, to be continued, we did it. Nice break point in the action. I would love to save my progress. So there we go, things are getting spicy, so... It was either that D. Vasquez lady... or someone we just haven't even met yet. I don't think it was Salmonella, although he might be an accomplice. An accessory to the murder. But we're gonna find... Excuse me. We're gonna find that out next time. On episode 10 of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. I guess we won't find out necessarily, but we'll do some more, you know, investigating. Then by part 11 or so, we might find the true culprit. So don't forget the Lard, and be sure to tune in next time for Will Powers' Justice. Did I say don't forget the Lard? I don't remember. Well, don't forget the Lard. Whatever you do.